I noticed with my oldest son that there were milestones he was not achieving. And at that time, once they told me the diagnosis, I told him that he can do all things. But I had to say within myself, what can I do better as a parent to help him achieve these goals that were listed on his IEP? And so initially, when I was in college, I was a criminal justice major. So I decided to change go back to school first, change my major to elementary ed so I can better assist him. And that's how my college journey started. And I decided to do elementary ed and go back so I can assist him. And I started tutoring him. And I started seeing the leaps and the bounds that he was making. And I just said, you know what? If I can do this with my own, why can't I help other children? Where do I start? Honestly, you know what? I think when God gives you a vision and the vision is bigger than your provision, that's where the struggle came. You know, I saw the vision in my head. God had given me the vision. I didn't have the provision to make it happen. So that was the first struggle. And finding a building to host the Promise Academy in was also a struggle. But when I tell you, when you have a vision and you want it to come together, God will place the right people to align to get that vision to come to pass. My best friend wound up finding my first initial building. And then my tax preparer actually said, well, what do you need? I was telling her about the Promise Academy. And she said, well, what do you need? And I said, well, I need computers. I need desks. She said, well, how much is that? I was like, I need like $1,200. She said, what's your Zelle? I'm going to Zelle you. I want to invest in you. And I said, okay, is it a loan? And so she said, yeah, it's a loan. You can pay me back later. So when I went to call her back, once we got up and running to pay her back, she said, no, I want to pay that forward to you. And she said, don't even worry about it. So that was a blessing. My other friend, she was a former teacher, and she lived in Port St. Lucie. And she was like, what else do you need? And I'm like, I need a rug. I need resources. She said, are you willing to drive to Port St. Lucie to come get it? I said, absolutely. I drove that hour and 30 minutes in a truck, and I went and got it. So those were the struggles. Initially was the money, the resources, the finding everything. But when I tell you, like I said, God put everybody in alignment to make it happen.